it's going to start to record. And hello there, my name is Larry Rosen from the Ajax Public Library. Welcome to this month's virtual Tween Tech Club. Glad you're here. Today we're going to be learning about web pages. You see them all over the place. How'd you like to create your own? I'm going to show you today. So thanks again for joining me. Let's get started. Okay, I'm just going to share the screen here. There we go. All right, so just to let you know, this Zoom event is being recorded and it will be posted on the Ajax Public Library's YouTube channel for future viewing. If you wish your image not to be included, it's not a problem. Just let me know and I can turn your camera off anytime, and then the participation would be through the audio only. It's your choice. Okay, so what are you going to need for today's session? All you need is Windows Notepad and a browser. And don't use Explorer for this particular session, or Edge. Try to use Chrome or Firefox if you can. It just works better if you can use one of those. Okay, and so here's all we have to do to get started. And the first thing we have to do is we have to create a new folder on your computer in your Windows where you see all those files. You just create a new folder on your computer, and in that folder, that's where these web pages are going to be. Okay, we like to keep everything in the same folder. It helps us stay organized. And any images that you want to use in your web page, they should also be in that folder. Okay, so take some time to find images and put them in the folder. One thing I wanted to mention, you don't have to do this while I'm doing it. There's a PDF that explains all the procedure for you that you can download at your convenience. I'm just showing you how it works, but you can do this at your own pace. And you don't have to remember anything. There's not a quiz or anything, so just sit back, have some fun, and learn about web pages. So we've got our folder on Windows, and we're putting any images that are in other parts of the computer, we're putting it into that folder, okay? Because we like everything in one place. It's just much easier. And the next thing we're going to do, and I'm going to share my screen in a minute and show you all this, okay? We're going to open Notepad. It's an app called Notepad on your computer. And once you open Notepad, we're going to save it right away before we do anything. Okay, but we're going to save it not as a TXT file. We're going to save it, you see at the bottom where you go save as. We need to change that from TXT to all files. And when we change that to all files, then we can save it as mywebpage.html. Okay, that was a brief introduction. Are you ready to get started? Okay. I am going to share another screen with you so that you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so if you look on the screen, you can see On the left-hand side is our notepad. And on the right-hand side is the browser. Okay, that's so that when I do something on the left, we can see the results on the right. All right, and the notepad on the left, that's called mywebpage.html. It's actually called mywebpage3, but you can call it anything you like as long as you know where it's at. And there we go. So at the beginning of every web page is this little blurb right here, doctype.html. That has to be there, okay, because that tells the computer that what we're typing is really a web page. It's not a text document. It's an actual web page. But so this little blurb, it says doctype HTML, we just have to put that in there. Okay, so put that in there and then click save. I save very frequently just in case something happens. And all our HTML pages, they start with HTML right here. We always use these brackets. This is our code. It's like almost like that we're coding. We're coding a web page and it needs certain code to tell it what to do. And everything that we, all the information that we put in it is going to be in certain places. And I'm going to show you exactly where things need to go. You see this where it says head, title, head. All that right there. That has to be in there because that tells Google where your web page is. If that wasn't there, Google would not be able to find your web page. And anything that's between the head, you can't see it on the web page. It's invisible, but Google can see it. But what we need to do, everything that we're doing today is in the body. And there's the code for body. Okay, and it's always got, you'll notice that it says body and then /body. So the start of it is body. We're going to put things right in the middle here. And then at the end, we go /body, and that tells the computer that we're finished. Okay, we need /body. And the reason we need the /HTML is because at the top here, we had a start of HTML, so we need to finish it. And this is the finish. Okay, but everything that we're going to do right in the middle here. Body, right between those two bodies. That's where we're going to put all our information. What kind of web page are we going to create? We are going to create something that looks like this. On the right-hand side, just take a look. See, we've got some big letters. We've got some smaller letters and even smaller letters here. We're going to add some text. We're going to make bold text. We're going to do italic text. It kind of looks like this. We're going to underline our text. We're going to change the color of the text. Make the text bigger. You can do that. We're going to work with some images. And we're going to make some bullet points for lists that you want to create. Just makes it look neat when you use bullet lists. Okay, so if this is what we're going to do on the right-hand side, how do we start? I think we might have somebody joining us. If it says connect to internet audio, just say yes, okay? It looks like they're trying to connect. It might give you a notice that says connect to internet audio. If it asks you to do that, just say yes. And I can hear you as well.
Actually in a boat right now.
Pardon?
A boat for 3. I'm in a boat.
Welcome to Tween Tech Club. Glad you're here. Oh, I can't hear you again. Are you still there? I lost your audio. Oh, I heard. Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Okay, all right. Yes, all right. So what we're doing today is we're making web pages using Windows Notepad. Okay, and I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, if you don't want your image to be seen, this is being recorded and we're going to show it on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. But if you do not want us to do that, let me know and I can block your video and just listen to you if you prefer. Okay, is that all right?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, just wanted to let you know because we record all these sessions. And some don't want to be on YouTube, and that's not a problem, but I just wanted to let you know that this will be on YouTube unless you tell me to take off your video. Okay. Let me just share a screen for you so you can see where we're at. Let's get that here, screen. Okay. Can you see my shared screen?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. You'll notice that there's 2 parts to it. There's a part on the left and there's a part on the right. And the part on the left, this is just Windows Notepad. This is where we're going to be doing all of our web page creation, right on this Notepad. And what we did was I want to tell you one more thing. You don't have to do this while I'm doing it. You can just watch and then download our PDF that explains it. And you can do this later at your own pace, okay? You don't have to do it when I'm doing it if you don't want to. So what I've done is I've created I've opened up Notepad. And then immediately I saved it. It was blank. It was like this. When I opened Notepad, it was just like that. And then I went File, Save As, and when I did that, you'll notice it says Save As down at the bottom. I did not save it as a text because it won't work. So I did all files. Because once you do all files, then you can save it as mywebpage3.html. It has to be .html when you save it. Okay, so I saved it as mywebpage3.html. I did not save it as mywebpage3.txt because the txt, it won't work, okay? So that's what I did. And that's what I was doing when you joined me, and we're going to continue now. On the right-hand side, on this side, let me just get my annotation here. There we go. Can you see this little red dot? This is, on the right-hand side here, is the browser. Those are the 2 things we're working with. On the left side is the Notepad, and on the right side is the browser. And that's where you see the results, the actual web page. All right, so back to our Notepad. Whenever we're creating a web page using our Notepad, this information at the top here it just has to be there because it tells the computer that it's a web page. If this wasn't there, the computer would think it's just a text, some text. So we have to put this there. And again, you don't have to memorize anything. It's all going to be in the sheet for you, so don't worry. And when we're creating these documents, these have to be there as well. This part here is what Google uses to tell. Google uses this so that when you can search for a web page, you'll know where to find it. So this is on all web pages, but you can't see it. It's not part of the web page. It's invisible, this part. And that's called the head. Everything inside the head. So Virtual Idea Lab web page, I wrote that there, but you're not going to be able to see that. Just Google can see that. What we're concerned about is what's in the body between these two. This is what we're going to add. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to make a web page that looks like this on the right-hand side. Do you see this? All of this. We're going to create all this right from Notepad. Okay? And I just want to make sure that you can still see me. Are you still able to see me? I am not able to hear you. You have turned off your video, and that's okay. And you've turned off your audio, and that's okay too. Just want to make sure that you're still good. All right. So now I will go back to sharing my screen, and we can create a web page now. Okay. So how are we going to create what's on the right-hand side of the page? Well, I'm going to show you right now. So if you just want to add some text, not fancy. Remember, we're doing everything inside the body, this part. So I'm just going to type in some text. I just wrote, here is some text you can add. Now remember, you're saving this as mywebpage3.html. You can call it anything you want as long as it ends in .html, okay? And so I just added, here is some text you can add. And now I'm going to save it. File, save. Did it work? Let's find out. I'm going to go to the browser. And when you're using a browser, you try to use Chrome or Firefox. Don't use Edge or Explorer. It just works better. And what you'll do is you'll open mywebpage3.html wherever it is on your computer. And when you open it, you'll see there's my text right there. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Remember, you don't have to do this later. You can do this later on if you want. Just to recap, everything between the head, don't worry about it. You have to have it in there, but only Google sees it. We're doing stuff in the body. Okay, so now we've got some text. Maybe we want a header, something that's a little bit bigger. The bigger text is called a header. So the header, how do we tell the text that it's a header? We go, we use these kind of funny brackets. H1 bracket. What that says is anything after that is a header. So this is, I'm going to type, this is a header. And remember, we have to end it, because if we don't put an end to this, it'll think that the whole web page is going to be one big header. So to stop the header, you go H1. It's the same thing, but you add a slash before the H1. And there it is right there. That is the header. Let's see if it worked. So we go to our browser, which is on the right-hand side, and we just click the refresh button right here, and we'll see if it worked. And give me 1 second here. Did I forget something? Let's find out. Just give me 1 sec. I figured out what I did, what went wrong here, and I'm going to explain it to you right now. I'm just going to share the screen again. It's really, it's easy to forget, but did you notice the first time I did it, I typed H1, this is a header H1, but it didn't show up on the right-hand side. Do you know why? It's because I didn't save it. Okay, so you have to save it every time you do a change. Then when you go to the right side to your browser and you refresh, then you see what you did, okay? So it's good that I made that mistake, because now you can see that you have to do that. I've added an H2. Did you notice that? H2. H2 is another type of header, but it's a little smaller. Maybe you don't want to use such big letters. You don't have to. And there's even an H3. Let's do an H3. Bracket, H3, bracket. This is header 3. And then we end it. Don't forget, we have to end everything. Bracket slash H3. Now notice on H2, I made another mistake. I used H1 instead of H2. So I'm going to correct that now on H2. There we go. And I also didn't capitalize this, so I'm capitalizing it right now. And here we go. I'm going to save it. It is now saved. And now on my right-hand side, I'm going to refresh the page. There's our 3 headers. Okay, and if you'll notice, we're still working inside of the body. Everything is done inside the body. So if you need to make more room, just put your cursor at the end and then press the enter key to give you some more room, because we got more to do. Okay. What if you want to make text bold? Let's type this text. I would like this text to be bold. Okay, if you type that in and then hit save, and then you went over to the right side and you refreshed, see, it says, I would like this text to be bold, but it's not bold. It's because we have to add some HTML to that. So we go back to the left side and we're going to add the bold. Okay, and we're starting a new paragraph. So here's the paragraph P. That's a new paragraph. And B, what do you think? B would be for bold? That makes sense. Slash or bracket B, bold. And then at the end, we have to end it. Slash B. What do you think? Will this work? You got a P for paragraph, then B for bold. Let's see if it worked. I'm going to save it first. Then I'm going to go to the right side and refresh. The text became bold with a simple B bracket, okay? Now what if you want it to be italics? That's the kind of funny lettering. Let's give it a try. On the left-hand side, just type in I would, make sure the cursor's in the right place or it won't work. I would like this text to be italics. Okay, that by itself will not work. So if we used B for bold, what do you think we should use for italics?
I.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. So we got P, and then I. Oh, I think that might work. And then at the end of our italics, we have to go the same thing with a /I. We're going to save it. We're going to go to our browser and we're going to refresh. That is italics. Very good. Just want to make sure no one else has joined that I missed. All right. Okay. What if you want underlined? We can do the same thing with underlined, right? I would
Probably.
like this text to be underlined. Do you think we could use the same idea for the underlined? First would be a paragraph, new paragraph. So what would I put for underline?
Maybe you.
You are very smart. You are correct. You for underline. So there's our underlined sentence. And then at the end of the sentence, we go /u to end the underline. And we're going to go save, file save. We're going to go to our browser on the right, and we're going to refresh. And then you have underlined text. Now, you are actually, when you do this, you're creating a web page. It's not a fancy web page yet, but it will be. All right, you're doing good. Now, what if we want to add a link so that when you click on something, it goes to a different web page? There's a special way to do a link. Because you click on links all the time, right? And when you're on the internet? Of course. So to create a link, first we have to create the text. So let's just write some text. When I click on this link, I would like it to go to the Ajax Public Library. Okay. Now, right now, you clicked on this. I'm going to go save, and I'm going to refresh. Oh, look what I did. Notice how the text didn't start on its own line. Do you know why? What I forgot to do?
You forgot to put the P for paragraph.
Thank you. Yes, I didn't put the P, so I'm going to go back to my notepad, and I'm going to add the P right here. And then I refresh, and you'll see that it's now and it's on its own line, but there's no link, right? There's no link to click on here, but that's because we haven't added our link yet. So we're going to add it right now. So we go back to our notepad, and we're going to go, and there's a special link syntax that we have to add. So right after the P, we have to add this syntax. We already knew that it was ajaxlibrary.ca. That's where we wanted to go. We already knew that. So to add the link, we have to add this part. A space href that's the special code that links use. And you put that just before ajaxlibrary.ca. Oh, sorry, just give me 1 second here. This should go right before, that should go there. When I click on this link, because when you click on the word link, that's where I want it to go to the Ajax Public Library. So this code ahref equals ajaxlibrary.ca, that has to go before the word link. And then after the word link, remember we have to end everything. We end it with an A. I think I got that right. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just going to move this over just a little bit so you can see how it looks. So you've got the code at the beginning of the word link, and you've got the code after the word link. So it's ahref equals. Did it work? Let's find out. I'm going to save it. And I'm going to go to the browser, refresh. Ah, the word link. The word link just turned blue. That means it is now a link. Okay, now I'm going to click on the link and see if it worked. Oh, must be because I'm not connected to the internet. It also could mean that I might not have used the correct address. Some addresses need the HTTP. So you can cut and paste the actual address from the website. Let's see if that's the case. I saved that. I added HTTP because that's the whole address. And then I refresh. And let's see if that worked. Yes, it worked. So what that means is you can't take shortcuts when you're making HTML pages, okay? You have to type in the whole address here. Because if you don't add the HTTP, it thinks it thinks the website you want to go to is right on your computer. So that's okay. So we've got one more thing to show you today, and that's how to add an image. We want to add an image to this web page because web pages have a lot of images. You don't want to just look at text. So to add an image, that has a special code too. And the image that I want to show you, it can either be one of two places. It can either be an image that you put in the folder already, or it can be an image that's already on the web page, on a certain web page. For instance, let me just show you. This image right there. If we want that image to be on a web page, we can do that by adding the following. We make space just, and we're still in the body here, image, source, and it's a short form of source. Okay, so you remember that when we did a link, it was ahref equals, that was a link. But when we're adding an image, That's the code. Okay, don't try to remember this, okay? Because it's all in the PDF that you can download later. Okay, image source. Now, where's the image source? Now, if you have one in your folder, let's see if I do. Let's see if I have anything in my folder, an image that I can use. I'm going in my folder. Do I have an image that I can use? Yes, I do. There's an image. It's called Larry2.jpg. Okay, let's see if that works. Image source equals Larry2.jpg. And we end it with that bracket. Let's see if that worked. I'm going to save. I'm going to go to the browser and refresh. Oh, this browser. That's what we're working on. And refresh. That's how you add a photo. But the photo has to be in your folder or it won't work. Instead of Larry 2, you could also put an image that's on the web. And I've run out of time today to show you, but I do have a source that you can continue this to learn a lot more about HTML. And I'm just going to bring that up right here. w3schools.com. That has all kinds of great ideas for you to continue learning HTML and how to create web pages. Check it out. And if you do create some web pages, we'd love to see it on our social media. Let me just stop sharing here. There we go. So what do you think? Do you think you'd like to try creating your own web page?
I think it would be a fun.
Yeah, give it a try. And, you know, it's the more you do it, the easier it gets. And if you don't see the step-by-step instructions on our website, check back, okay? Because it should be there, but if not, check back early next week. We'll make sure it's up for you. And it's got all the instructions about how to create your own folder, how to save it. Remember, when you save that notepad, you have to save it as a text, and not as a text. Save as .html. Okay, and because if you save it as a text.txt, it's not going to work. Okay, and I hope you try this, and I hope you have some fun doing it, and let us know how you're doing through social media. We're going to come back next month with another Tween Tech, a different activity. I hope you have a great time, and I hope you have a great month of September, and we will hopefully see you next month. Okay, you take care and stay safe.
Bye.